Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday morning trading room. Hang on a second here. Computer's fighting me this morning, trying to get the screen share going on. Come on. There's your friendly reminder. Trading is risky. Remember, you should only trade with money you can afford to do without. All right. Well, here, let's take a look at what's been going on here on our daily chart. Always nice to use the daily as a bit of a broader reference. And you can see very, very bearish almost since the beginning of the month. Certainly this last week has been very bearish. Yesterday, the market falling out of bed, but most of that decline actually came after hours. The session itself yesterday there were good ranges, but it was relatively small, which is, this bar makes it a little bit misleading. What's interesting though is, well, I was anticipating support around 7,400. We've kind of slid past that. It looks like we're finding a little bit of support around 7,300. If this zone fails, well, it looks like we're going to get all the way back down here to around 7,000, even 7,100 before the market tries to recover again. An easy way to find support and resistance zones that you think might be significant is just to look back in your chart and see where the market had rallied from before. So you can see we had a rally begin here, we had a rally begin here, another one back here, here, and so on. What these rallies tell you is that this is a price level where buyers are perhaps interested in buying, and you can see that may well be the case here as well. So overall, the trend is down. A pushback of some sort, certainly not out of the question. Just taking a look at our charts here at the moment. You can see a really broad sideways trading range through the European session. There was a little bit of a rally up, and then it came back down. Then it started to get a little bit quiet as we get here into the open. Trade Forecaster has us in scalp mode, but not for too much longer. Looks like trend mode is coming up. We'll see how long trend mode is scheduled to last. Right now, it may be a little bit more bullish, maybe slightly. Certainly quieter, much quieter than what it was the other day. We're kind of moving back and forth here on the signals. A little bit of a bull push. The hawk, certainly in scalp mode, you're going to be able to pick up on your high probability targets, as we're only looking for 10 ticks with your hawk scalper. So there are definitely opportunities, but you may want to be picky. All right, well, we're testing the top end now of this little trading range. Well, we're getting a couple of signals here now. We're getting a little bit of a late filter entry signal developing in the Falcon. We're against the Bollingers though, so I'm not really sure how aggressive I want to be on it. The trend line now has spoiled, so I don't need to worry about it so much. We are coming back with a bit of a hard edge bounce here though. See, we got the number 3 signal down here in the Raptor. I'm a little hesitant because we're still in this sideways range, as you can see. It should be a fairly obvious sideways range. All right, the buyer's making a bit of a push here now. Now that we're above this trading range. So here was our trading range. Oops, sorry. Let's get this back here. Come on. Here was our trading range, like so. Here's our breakout. Now, ideally, I like to see a couple of bear bars, but if it looks like the market's going to actually be bullish today, I may throw my order in now, just above the high of this bar. We'll give it another tick. So I'm looking for the breakout. This now is the retest, and I'm thinking maybe there's going to be some momentum here. So the Bollingers are in sync. We would have had follow-up signals here on the other tools. Here on the Raptor, you can see we had a number 3 signal print just prior to the breakout. Oh, I guess I'd better get this out of the way. May not quite be ready. So here's the breakout, here's the retest of the breakout, and we'll see now whether the buyers can get enough momentum. And so far, no. All right. I'm going to cancel the order because obviously they're not quite ready yet. We're still in a little bit of a sideways range. Okay, we're moving into trend mode for about a half an hour. So maybe the market will actually, once it settles on a direction, will actually go somewhere. And at this point, it looks like it's the sellers who are in control. All right, so we're going to get a trend change signal here in the Raptor, pardon me. Perhaps a trend line touch here in the Falcon producing the trend change signal up here. But we were still in the hard edge on the Eagle and the Raptor, so I probably, well, I did pass, but I probably would have passed anyway. Okay, so where's that signal that I'm waiting on? Oh, you guys. All right, there's my signal now, my number 1 signal. Coming a little bit later. And I'm going to pull my stop back just a little. All right, and as we recommit here, I'm going to bring my stops back down now to break even as we encounter the median line, and hooray. Order canceled. Actually, now that they've kind of committed to the downside, there is the potential to run the trade out a little bit. But you know what? I'm always telling you, you should take profit on target, and then I don't take profit on target. So I'm trying to practice what I preach. Ooh, we got a little bit of volatility coming in the market, bouncing around a little. Good news is our patience paid off. Um, like I try to remind you, you don't need to find a lot of opportunities. You just need to find a good one that you can correctly capitalize on. And that's what we did here today. So hooray for us. Wow, that was a trade to hold on to. Look at that follow through. That's crazy. Well, now that we have a better idea as to what the market's direction will be today, and now that we are definitely through the bottom end of this trading range, so here was our trading range, here was the breakout, the failure, actually I guess another breakout and retest right here, but that happened so quickly, I would not be surprised to see another pullback, another retest, and then maybe another move lower. Okay, so it's going to be decision time here pretty quick. Is this going to be pullback and retest? Are the sellers going to recommit to the short side? Could even draw it a little bit like this. You could already, when you get these trading ranges like this is the easiest way to trade them. When you see where the bottom is, you throw your just in case order to short. Now that we see where the top is, and I usually wait for two counter bars to form. Once we see where the top is, now you can throw in your just in case order to buy. Now, if this is in fact a new downtrend, you can see we're going to have, this is going to form a little bit of a bear flag, in which case we can anticipate a bearish breakdown. We are getting a hard edge bounce here, a green bar sell with a second push opportunity. So you could short it as early as here if you wanted. I think I'm going to leave well enough alone here for the moment. I'll set my profit target. All right, here we go now with another green bar sell. And we definitely seem to have a bearish slant on the day. Look at that, they're sticking pretty close to the hard edge. All right, there we go. Let's see what we get now for, oh, we're almost there. Get the stops up. Quick little hiccup higher. Come on. I'm going to start squeezing the trade here. All right, well, not quite to the profit objective, but still a decent little move. Okay, well, 2 for 2. Now, if I were doing my trading quota, you know, my trading day would be done today, I think. If the market starts to break down again, though, we've seen this little run up, and look, we've come back now to the hard edge. We're actually producing another sell signal. We have this bear flag type deal going on. Ooh, a little bit of a pushback from the buyers. All right. Okay, well, just when you thought things might have been getting a little bit more bearish, here come the buyers with a really, really strong run up. In fact, we've pretty much recovered to where we began the day, which seems to be the the way the market's operating of late. We opened around the 73.80 mark, and that's where we're back. We're right back around where the market opened. We'll see whether this high here now starts to come into play. Honestly, I thought we were going to see the market turn lower from here. I was looking for another shorting opportunity. But it looks as though we might be getting a little bit more bullish. All right, here we go, back to the hard edge. So the big question now is, are the sellers going to make a run for it, try to force the market lower, or are the buyers going to take control and push the market higher again? We did get a couple of early signals here. The Hawk, the Falcon with a trend change signal came a little bit earlier. We had a trend change signal here on the Raptor in the form of a number 2 signal. Actually, it was in sync with the Bollinger Suite, so it may have been tradable. I'm either going to wait, I think, for the cloud crossover, or another push higher. The market's really indecisive right now. Okay, there we go, a little bit of a push up. We're starting to get a little congested again. See how we're starting to drift a little bit sideways, kind of retracing the same numbers. Okay, here now we got the number 1 signal to buy. Maybe I'll hold out for a second push. Oh, they're not going to give it to me. You see, we're at the top end of the trading range, which is giving me pause. All right, maybe I do have a second push opportunity now. It's a little bit further than I would usually like to see it. Here's the number 1 signal. The second push opportunity way over here. Not ideal. And you know what? I'm not going to go chasing the market. Let's just leave it alone here for the moment. We'll wait for a better setup. That's the problem too. You know, it's so tempting to start chasing the market around. All right, we're still back and forth here, which is not unusual. If the market doesn't have any direction, it will just move sideways. You've probably heard that 3/4 of the time, a good 75–80% of the time, the market is fairly content just to move in a bit of a sideways fashion. And that's where we find ourselves here at the moment. Just watching and waiting. We are really stumped here at the moment. We are getting a trend change signal here on the Falcon. We already had the #1 signal here on the Raptor. All right, let's test out the top end.
Order pending.
All right, so it's essentially a second push opportunity on this trend change signal. And now we're coming back with a late filter entry signal. So let's see if they got any giddy up. They're thinking about it.
Order filled. Order filled.
Okay, well, I didn't even have time to adjust my exit order. That's the way we like to see it. So what made me more bullish on that? Well, we're looking at the market making higher lows. We keep bouncing into the highs, but not exceeding them. So that means one of two things. It means either the highs are going to hold, or there's a bunch of sellers stacking orders up here that are going to get stuck on the wrong side of a position. That's what happened. That's why the market went up so quickly there. We had a lot of weak sellers trying to short the market from near the high of the morning. And their exit orders were very close by, and they just happened to get tagged out in rather short fashion. as the market trades back up toward the high of the morning. 7,400 was a big number for us yesterday too. The market spent a lot of time around 7,400. Well, if I was not finished before, I would definitely be finished now. I have made my 3 trades. I tend not to trade more than 3 times a day, although I do confess that when the market is moving very strongly, I have had days where I've taken 5 and 6 trades. But don't worry, you'll recognize those days. The market just unfolds so fast and so strong. You just get one good signal after the next, after the next. Well, and here we go flip-flopping again. So we saw that move up. Now the little bit of a pause. And we're over 7,400 now, so we do have a new high of the morning. When the market's moving like this, sometimes you have to hold out for a bit of a pullback. But things, a steady progression today. Right now, I would have to say I'm probably more bullish. Okay, a little bit of a pullback forming. And there may even be a number two signal opportunity here. Now, technically, the immediate trend is up, right, for the last 15-20 minutes. But, well, here I'll look on the eagle. It'd be easier to see. The immediate trend is up, but we also have a very strong trend down, which cannot be ignored. All right, well, we're drifting a little bit lower here. Ideally, see, I would call the market in an uptrend now. Ideally, what you need to do is you need to wait for a little bit of a pullback. You need to wait for perhaps a hard edge bounce. I might even go so far as to throw a little trend line on there, wait for a breach of the trend line for the market to get a little bit more bullish. I would like to see the Bollingers in sync as well. And I think that could lead to a fairly decent probability on the buy. All right, well, here we go. We're getting the breach already. And here now a number 3 signal from this hard edge. I will take a second push on this signal. So what I'll do is we'll take the second push opportunity. Because there is a very real chance the market will try to get back down here toward the hard edge. And we're into the primary resistance zone, so hopefully we'll peak above that. Get ready with my exit order. There we go. We're about 3/4 of the way there. I'll roll my stops to break even, and oh, don't you dare flinch. Don't you dare. See the number 3 signal. I was just a couple of ticks late. Don't tag me now. Get up there. All right, I'll just give them this bar. We'll squeeze it a little bit, try to keep a couple of extra ticks.
Order filled. Order canceled.
Wow. That was a shame. That was a shame. Just kissed the profit target. But it was still a profitable trade. Now look, here's the swing. They would have come back, tagged me at break even. Now they're going to try to swing it higher. Scoundrels. Well, that's right. We took a couple of dollars out of it. You see, we're starting to bounce around again a bit. I almost think they're a little overextended. If we were looking at like a stochastic or something, I bet you the market's quite overbought at this point. You can kind of get a feel here from the hawk as well. When you start to get all these yellow bars cropping up, that tends to indicate that the market is in a bit of a sideways crunch. All right, well, we're hitting a little bit of a sideways skid, and we're testing the bottom end now of this trading range that we've established. So you see, again, we're getting the kind of day where we're getting a lot of little trading ranges going on. Given the big uptrend here, I'm not so sure I'm keen on shorting, but you could look to short below this value right here. Now that we've seen the retest and we have the couple of bars counter, if you wanted to try to get in a little earlier on the next upswing, if we're going to get one, you could look to buy above this level right here and again try to take it out to our high probability profit target. So all I'm doing here is trying to determine trend. Okay, here we go. So we've got our red bar buy. Ooh, I better get my stop loss order in. Less talking, Eric. Less talking, more trading. So I got my stop loss order in. This is just your typical hard edge bounce. Looking for the market now to challenge the top end of the trading range. And as we get closer toward these highs here, as we get closer toward the 74.10 zone, I will become more aggressive with my stops. Oh, might have been a little bit too early. All right, I'm going to take this opportunity. As we get closer, here we go, 74.10. Let's see if we can take out a few of the sellers again. I'm going to start squeezing the trade. I don't want to lose my swing profit. So this bar is getting a tiny little tail to it. I'll take it. Oh, so close. Come on.
Order filled. Order canceled.
Hooray. Well, you know what? I have to say, today's the kind of day where I'm quite pleased with my trading. I feel I've been patient with the market. I feel like I've let the opportunities unfold, given them time. starting to wonder whether, well, we've seen two very strong swings here. We've seen a swing higher and a swing lower, and now yet another swing higher, and look at how the market is stalling on the move up. We've broken out. Here, let me draw this again so you can see it properly. So here's our trading range. We've broken out. We're retesting, so you could throw your just in case order to buy up there, but it's almost looking as though they're starting to run out of steam. Short term. Market, remember, never or very rarely makes a straight line to its target. Bollinger's already getting a little bit weaker. Oh, see, and there they go. Makes me wonder whether we're going to see a bit of a pushback here. Maybe check out the bottom end of the trading range. Something like that. Well, if anything's going to give us a trend change, oh, well, we already have the trend change here in the Falcon, even ahead of the Hawk and the Raptor. So if you were so inclined, you could use this level here as a second push opportunity to short below. Oh, no, that just got spoiled. The market trend line just changed in color again. Yeah, you don't want to get too cheeky trying to short into what seems to be a rather strong uptrending market. Just kind of asking for it. Yeah, maybe Joe says could be going up to 7,500 maybe by tomorrow. Wouldn't that be nice? We do have a rather large gap from yesterday's open. And that has not filled yet. So 7,500 would kind of put us halfway into that gap. All right, so you see we have the, okay, this is kind of interesting. We got the market in a bit of a spot now. I'm going to throw my order in here to short. Okay, so we've seen a breakout. We've seen the retest, but now all of a sudden the market's starting to make a lower high. This is how we get the rule of three developing in the Eagle. You could actually throw your just in case order to buy up here as well. Here, why don't we do that?
Order pending.
And if the market fails now and heads lower, well, it's probably going to test the bottom end of this trading range. And you could put a profit order in here, or you could even try to extend it for the full profit target. All right, here they come. So essentially a rule of three, even though it's only one counter trend signal. We have seen the test of the extreme, the failure, and there's every reason to believe that the market will try to get back down here toward the bottom end of this trading range. We'll see how that plays out, and then that'll be it for today. Oh, or are they not going to go for it? The key here too is to try to avoid the sideways market. I should throw an ADX lineup on here. I bet you it's probably running pretty low. Let's see, the Bollingers are bearish, which would be my preference. Okay, now we have a rule of three. We've got two counter trend signals. All right. So we are short. And because we're potentially changing direction here, I'm going to try to take it easy with my stops. And when we get down to about this level here, to around the 73.95 zone, I'm going to get my stops ready now for break even. See the joys of a counter trend attempt. If I can get this bear bar to form, I'll take the break even. Come on, you stinkers. All right, I'll take it to break even now. There we go. There we go. Nope, not quite.
Order canceled.
All right. Well, it's every reason to believe that the market will probably spend the next little while going sideways. You can see we're in scalp mode for the better part of the remainder of the morning here as we kind of drift into the lunch hour session. Then trade forecaster actually calling for trend mode. Interesting. All right, gang. Let's call it a day. I will see you again tomorrow. If you are going to hang out today, we are bullish. I would expect, a little bit of a pullback here and another buying opportunity. I think that's going to be the way to go. Catch you tomorrow. See you then. Bye for now.